All right, it's Saturday, man. If we did an after show on Thursday because we didn't have the BS sessions with the great Andy Rodriguez, we talked about half the year albums releases, which is a pretty good episode. Go check that out. We talked about our favorites and what we didn't like that came out. Well, I did. I didn't like the Ace Frehley 10,000 volts or the Mick Mars album. So we took a shit on those two albums, but basically all the albums we talked about were great. But we got the after show. The Mooger Fooger is back, man. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Happy to be back. Been gone a little bit too long. Been a busy time for me, man. Summer, we get on to, vacations and, away from where I can get a Wi-Fi signal. So, hey, here we are. We're together again, brother. We are Corolla brothers, right?
Yeah, we
Right?
are the Corolla brothers.
Right?
I got a hybrid. You got a regular one. You detailed yours this morning. I was
Yeah.
like, fucking,
I'm just
we are
ruining that
Corolla brothers.
ozone. I'm just
Hey,
ruining the ozone,
Corolla
baby.
brothers activate.
Boom!
Boom.
Boom! Hey,
I
it's tough
yeah,
to
I
get
used
our.
to have a 2001 Corolla too.
Oh,
They were both
well,
white.
mine's a 2015, so who
I like
cares?
your
Who gives a
color
fuck?
better than mine. White is kind of vanilla.
I don't know. I all I know is I spent 3 hours, 3+ hours detailing the fuck out of that thing this morning
Dude,
because it has been across so many highways, dusty lots, dusty parking lots. I work for a construction company, so that fucking shit's always dirty. And there was like fucking dust and shit I didn't think dust could get into, but I cleaned it all. It's shiny, it's happy. Mr. Wimpy is mine.
well, how did you get the name for Mr. Wimpy?
Because I like going fast, and this car absolutely does not do that.
It's a Corolla, dude. I got a hybrid, but I could put it in speed mode, and the electric does take off pretty quick.
Well, now if I put it in sport mode, holy crap, I might go like 1 to 40 in 15 seconds. It's pretty sweet. But no, man, it's just I call it. We've called it Mr. Wimpy since we bought it because it's. I mean, I get 2 weeks. I mean, I go 2, 3 weeks before even having to put gas in it anymore because I only drive 14 miles round trip to work a day. I
Fucker.
used to drive. I used to drive 120 miles a day
Well, that ain't
round
shit.
trip. Yeah, so now it's like I don't even know the last time I put gas in it. I
Dude,
still got 3/4 of a tank.
I
So
moved to Victorville. I did 170 miles a day, fucking like 80 fucking 70 miles there or 80 something miles there, 80 miles back. I got a Prius, so I could go on the 15. It was cool. I got great gas mileage going down the hill. But when I went up the hill, it was horrible. Even with a
yeah,
hybrid.
there's no hills here in Indiana at all until maybe you get to southern Indiana. I'm northeast, so yeah, I don't have to worry about that shit. But I did have a Saturn sports coupe, and we went into the mountains of Tennessee. And holy shit, dude! I thought I was gonna blow my transmission going up some of those hills. So what you got to do is you got up to like 120 down, and then when you hit that incline, you just gun it again, but you're not hitting like 6,000 RPM tack. You're actually getting up that hill. So you just got to learn how to ebb and flow. How you doing, Fabio?
Doing good. Yeah, I used to have a Prius myself. I loved it.
I
And actually,
Great car, man.
I'm going through a midlife crisis because I've been looking online and I've been trying to find a good mid-80s Supra to get or something cool like that. Toyota Supra. Love Toyota.
Oh,
Man, those
there
are
you
some
go.
fun cars back in.
Just
But
don't get a
I
Datsun and the
digress.
door will
Yeah,
fall
doing
off on
good.
you.
So yeah. So now we're all
Yeah.
talking about our midlife crisis cars. What do you got on the plate, Mark?
I don't fucking dude. We just talked about Dave Mustaine. I did a video on MTV, like a quick thoughts on MTV on our channel. But I'm just going, man. Fucking MTV, man. I was like doing a garage sale, and we had Video Killed the Radio Star came up on the VIX channel, and I'm like sitting there looking at it, and I go, they're all like bopper and preening and like fucking being there for the camera. you could see that was the first video played on MTV, and it fucking fit. It was like, I think I love Trevor Horn. He produced one of the greatest albums of all time by Yes. Uh, and fucking great guy. Great fucking video killed the radio star, the Buggles. And I'm just going, fuck, without MTV, what would be my music? What would I have liked if MTV didn't get into me? Because I wasn't a big radio listener. It's like when I'm a visual person, when I saw those videos, it's like, yeah, I got Def Leppard, I got John Cougar, I got Huey Lewis and the News, I got fucking Anthrax, I got fucking Metallica with One. You know, I've seen these videos and I'm like, God dang, it's not like it was today because MTV showed us the visuals. We had the VJs, we had the Mark Goodman, the Martha Quinn, the fucking Nina Blackwood, the Alan Hunters, the JJ Jackson. It's like we don't have those people anymore on radio or video talking to us anymore. Jim Ladd is dead.
Well,
I think Redbeard is still around, but fucking, what do we have to fucking show us music anymore?
well, I don't know. I can't talk about anymore, but I didn't, you know, I grew up a poor white boy. Okay. And
Oops.
so I didn't have the MTV, and not for very long. I mean, in a little bit of a period, I did.
But did you
So
have Friday night videos on NBC?
oh yeah, absolutely, man.
You
Friday
had
night
local
videos, but they
channels
played a
showing
lot of
videos too.
they played a lot of pop garbage, and this wasn't great. But
Well, Friday
my
night videos killed Billy Squire's career. But go ahead.
right, but to your point, I know you've said this time and time again, Mark, that you didn't have older brothers or older sisters to bring you music
It
and
was
introduce you to
MTV.
shit. Right, but I did. I had an older brother and an older sister, and they would always have different music in the house and have different, you know, my MTV was going over to my brother's friend's house, and he would have all these records out, and then that is exactly how I heard new bands or older bands. Yeah, it's just like that's how I got my music intake. And I was certainly not around for the launch of MTV. I mean, I was here on Earth, yes, but I did not have MTV. And
Well,
so all my music,
I didn't get it till later. I didn't get it in the early 80s. I got it later in the 80s. So
right, so did I. So we had it for a brief minute when my brother and I learned how to steal cable. Yes.
I just thought my mom, I said, hey, I want my MTV. You know, those commercials, you know, with Sting, and I want my MTV. Fuck Cyndi Lauper. But I went for a Sting saying I want my MTV because I like the Police, and he resonated with me when I saw him saying I want my MTV, the Police. I thought that was fucking cool. Cyndi Lauper, nah. Madonna, yeah, I like Madonna because she was hot back then. But I'm just going fucking. You got Dire Straits, fucking Money for Nothing.
That's right.
I want my MTV. MTV is a cultural icon that just went to shit with 16 and Pregnant.
No one would argue with you there, I don't think.
Well,
So
it went to shit before that.
Well, it did.
so to go back,
The
kind of
real
go back
world.
to your question, like what are we doing now
What are we
to
doing now?
discover new music? Myself, I listen to podcasts who mention new music.
Decibel
Decibel
Geek.
Geek, you love you brothers. They'll do like a Radio Sucks or Fresh Blood, and they're always introducing these shit. So that's a good place to go to listen. But I also just do Apple Music. I subscribe. So if I hit that on release day, which is Friday now, it used to be Tuesday when I was a kid, but it's Friday now. So I'll go to like on release day, I just hit like I go to hard rock and metal, and I'll just look at the new releases and see who's cool. And I will absolutely check out bands I've never heard of. And some of them really click.
Isn't it
So
awesome, though?
it's all like a social media online presence kind of streaming thing now. That's how you find your music. But like we talked about in the episode we just recorded, there's 17,000 bands flying at you.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So how do you pick that one? How
I'm
do you
afraid I'm
zero in?
missing stuff, dude. I'm afraid I'm missing something that's fucking like one of the best things I've ever heard, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, I want to know all these artists that I want to like, and it's
Well,
hard.
I'm just gonna, like, you told me to bring this up on the after show. It's I know you do not like Five Finger Death Punch.
No.
That's fine. That's okay. I can enjoy them. You don't have to. But the ex guitar player Jason Hook, who's just a phenomenal guitar player, formed a band called Flat Black, and they've just released their debut album called Dark Side of My Head or Dark Side of the Brain or something like that. Something like that. Fabio, we're gonna have to talk about one instrumental on there. Literally is less than a minute, but it's so fucking beautiful.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you gotta look up the band Flat Black
Flat
and
Black.
then go to the album and then search out the song Youth in Eyes. So it's like Youth in Eyes, but it's youth in actual eyes. So
Gotcha.
it's such a beautiful song, dude. I wish I could play something like that. I've always wanted to write something like that. It has just a shit ton of harmonics, and then he'll like kick into a little bit of a blues lick, and it's all harmonics. And
So it's just
love that.
Jason Hook.
It's Jason Hook. Yeah,
Doesn't he have a podcast?
he might. Doesn't everybody have a podcast?
I think
have
it's
a
called the
podcast.
Hook Podcast, right? Something like that.
It might be. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
No, anyway,
him
that
in
the
that
evolution of
Hired
music.
Gun documentary.
Hired Guns documentary is amazing.
Yeah.
I would even say check out the fucking
Yeah.
Nickelback discography. You know, I've never really put down Nickelback because I like a lot of songs by them. There's a lot of songs I don't like by them, but that band started like in a garage, fucking playing clubs. They paid their dues. They did not fucking. It's like people make fun of them. It's like when the memes came out and shit. I don't understand why Nickelback gets a lot of hate. They have a lot of great songs. I love that album, Dark Horse. Fucking great album by them.
I think that's a great record.
Great
And
record.
and Janet and myself are among many, many, many millions of Nickelback fans because I met Chad at Pierre's when they were on their. It wasn't the how you. God damn it. I don't know. It was the album before the album that broke them, and they
Silver
did have
Side
some.
Up. Was it Silver Side Up or was
No, it wasn't Silver Side Up. It was
it
one
was the
before
next
that.
one, right?
Yeah, it was one before that. And they had played Pierre's to about 50 people, and that's a club here in town. And our friend was the hostess, so she got us up to meet everybody. And Chad was just so depressed. He's like, man, we're trying so hard, been on the road so hard, nothing's breaking for us. I said, you got a hit, man. Don't worry about it. Like I'm some kind of genius AR guy, life coach. But he he yeah.
Hey, get Chad on the podcast. Maybe we'll
Hey,
remember
we
you.
did a few shots of Jaeger. I think they went back and did some lines of coke. I don't know, but it was a little sketchy scene. But and hell, the next time they came to Fort Wayne, they were headlining the Coliseum and they were selling out 10, 12,000 seats, you know, and they just stuck to it. And everybody started saying, well, I mean, I honestly can see the hate for Creed maybe, but
Oh, no, I don't see the hate for Creed at all.
once again, good songs, good band. Nickelback, I just don't know where the hate came from. Maybe because they're Canadian? I don't know.
Well, everybody loves Rush and Triumph. Why would they hate Nickelback?
They're, the songs are good. I think it just got shoved down everyone's throat. They became very commercial. And
Yeah, I
what's
guess
wrong with that if you write a good
for me personally, I've never listened to a Creed or a Nickelback album in its entirety. I just remember that era when they were getting big that, yeah, like Shane said, it was just always there. And I did not like. I was like, this is what this is what we get.
dude.
Going back to what we talked about at the start of the episode, Mark, with MTV. Like with MTV, you're 100% right. That shaped my entire life, basically. Like I don't know that I would care as much about music. I
Hey,
don't know
Fab,
that I would have become everything. Huh?
have you listened to the song Side of a Bullet?
I told you I haven't listened to anything by these two bands
Listen to Side of
other
a
than
Bullet
the
and tell me
stuff
you
that
hate them. Tell me you hate them.
Listen to the song "Are You Ready" by Creed.
Hey, all I'm saying is
I love Creed. I love Mark Tremonti.
that,
Great
like I say,
guitar
going
player,
back,
man.
I love Mark Tremonti. But I was just going back to what you were talking about at the beginning. Like, and yes, like what you said, MTV is what made me like music. Well, I shouldn't say that. I liked music before that, but
I did too.
that's what made me want to become a musician, and that's what drove basically the trajectory of my music listening and everything was MTV. And then when Creed and Nickelback got big, and I'm going to throw in another band that I hate, Stained, in there.
Oh, I hate Stained.
Like
oh God, that band sucks.
Like when those three bands were just getting just like like Mooger said, shoved down our throat on the radio. I'd be at work, wrenching on cars and hearing these same shitty fucking songs over and over again. I was just like, oh my God, I just hate these guys so much.
Well, they started playing these bands like they were pop music. Like,
right.
It's like, stop. It's like, you don't need to, this is what good rock music is. No, okay, it's not bad music, but stop playing it every fucking 15 minutes.
Dude,
we don't need
and all
it.
the bands that
I
like,
think a band that was shoved down our throat a lot was
and
fucking.
grew up with were dead. So it's like I'm not getting anything that I like to counteract it either. It's like,
but why was Limp Bizkit
I'm just getting
shoved down our throat?
What's that?
Why was Limp Bizkit thrown down our throats, though, man?
That's an excellent question.
Break Stuff was an amazing fucking song, and it still is. I'm sorry.
Well, you have one song, but I have a bunch of Creed songs.
I don't forgive you.
That.
Fabio, I'll accept that.
Are you ready for fucking higher fucking Creed? Fucking amazing vocals, amazing guitar work, amazing musicianship on those songs.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did he say Creed had amazing vocal?
Yes. I love Scott Stapp.
No, you're wrong.
I love Scott Stapp. He reminded me a lot of Jim Morrison.
He took fucking Eddie Vedder.
And he sounded more like Jim Morrison to me.
Because he had to do that underdraw.
Okay. You're listening to
Eddie Vedder.
Can I say, Mooger?
No.
You're listening to the singles.
Shut up. He had to come through and he had to ruin his shit. He had to fucking decide he needed to duplicate fucking Eddie Vedder.
Have you heard?
And he did a horrible job
at
it, by the way.
Have you heard? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for us?
Are you ready for
come?
Eddie Vedder?
No, he was not like Eddie Vedder. He's more like Jim Morrison.
Oh God
He's
damn!
nothing
Don't
like
fucking
Jim.
put that evil on
Dude, he
Jim.
was in.
Don't you put that evil on Jim? Don't you put that evil on Jim?
Dude, I love Scott Stapp's vocals, but I will tell you one thing. I like Alter Bridge better than Creed. I love Miles Kennedy way better than Scott Stapp.
God damn, I cannot stand Miles Kennedy's voice.
Fuck you.
Oh God, he's so screechy. Bobby will back me up on this one. Bob?
No, I don't hate Miles Kennedy. My wife hates him. I don't hate him. I think he's fine.
What the fuck is wrong with Miles Kennedy? He's way better than Axl Rose.
Hold on. I'll say he's overrated.
No, he's not rated at all.
He's overrated, but I don't dislike him though. Like, well, but yeah, he is overrated because everybody talks like he's like anytime that some Led Zeppelin or the greatest band of all time, anytime somebody needs to do, we got to get Miles Kennedy. He's overrated. He's not that.
They tried to get Sammy for
but
Led Zeppelin.
But I also don't.
Hey
Fabio,
Fabio, tell me how you feel about him singing Guns N' Roses.
Because
I remember sitting on your couch watching that, and you're like, this is so fucking annoying.
Well, you know,
Well,
because
your words.
Axel would not come out there, but Alter Bridge and Slash have enough material that they
Right.
don't do Guns N' Roses anymore, which is
Right.
amazing.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with him. Like I said, I think he's overrated. I don't think he's as great as everybody puts him on the pedestal for, but I got no problems with him. He's
Miles
fine.
isn't
Putting the
rated.
pussy on a pedestal? Okay.
God dang, those 4 Slash albums with Miles are amazing. All the Alter Bridge albums with Miles are amazing. He's one of my top 5 singers of all time. I love that guy. Solo albums are good. You're the Tiger is just fucking acoustic.
But now I do like his solo record.
Solo
He does a
records.
really good job on those.
I don't see how he's trying to copy Axl. I don't hear that with Slash. I just hear him being himself.
What do you think about Tremonti as a band?
I love Tremonti.
Love it.
Yeah, they're a little bit
Love
heavier,
Tremonti.
aren't they?
You know what I love?
Yeah.
I love his goddamn smooth jazz Frank Sinatra covers
That's a
album
great
too.
fucking shit, dude. Luck be a lady tonight. God
His
damn, fucking
album.
great shit.
Well,
And
hey,
he did that for charity. You know, that's fucking amazing too.
well, I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah.
So,
I like Tremonti a lot.
Wolfgang played
I
on a
love his
couple
guitar
albums
too.
on
I
that.
play his guitar. It's amazing.
You know, Wolfgang Van Halen was in the band for 2 albums. Tremonti. Fucking
oh yeah,
great
I know
shit.
he did an album and tour them. I didn't know he did more than one album, but
No, he did 2. I think he did 2 albums. But
okay.
you know what? Speaking of Wolfgang, why does that kid get a lot of shit? He does his own thing. He doesn't
People are
copy Eddie.
dummies. People are dummies. Wolfgang's great.
Those 2 albums are fucking amazing. I've seen him live 3 times, opening up for Alter Bridge and Metallica. And the kid can fucking play, and they fucking get on him on Twitter. And I love the kid because he fucking stands up for himself. And he fucking tells these idiots, these pickle whistlers, Dr. Fuck says, I'm giving him some, they're pickle whistlers on Twitter or X or whatever. They give him so much, why don't you play hot for teacher? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do? Because my dad said, be myself. And he's being himself. You ever listen to that second album, that fucking album, the fucking End of the World.
Yeah.
Fucking
Good
great
stuff.
God dang. He plays the solo, fucking kicks ass on it. The video is fucking like an 80s video. It has acting, it has everything in it. He's like sitting there, and then his touring band takes the place of himself playing the instruments. Fucking amazing fucking artist. He even said that he has his touring band, but when he makes an album, he's going to record every part of it because he likes the control.
well, I respect the shit out of that. And if I could do something like that, if I could play the drums and the bass and everything, I would do it too. But the only thing I ever played everything on was a stupid little acoustic record I did. And I did the percussion, I did the acoustic, I did the singing, I did the bass.
You have this shit. Why don't you put it on our group, man?
No.
Why? We want the Mooger to be spotlighted.
No, it was 1999 and I thought I could sing. No.
Well, how do you know?
You can.
You know, people, I don't like hearing my own voice on the podcast, but I listen to it so I can fix it. But
Well,
nobody
in
likes
fact,
their own voice.
I was
man.
just
Nobody.
cleaning out my office / studio with all my guitars and guitar equipment and all that bullshit. I would just shelved the 4-track, man. But I have a 1985 Tascam 4-track, so I did a lot of that shit. A lot of shit. I did all my demos on that, and then I went down to Muncie, Indiana, to a studio, like an actual audio Pro Tool studio, and recorded I don't know, maybe 5, 6 song EP. But that was a million years ago, Mark.
Well, the thing
Million
is,
years ago, buddy.
you and Chris Sensax could get together and make an album. He could play guitar. He could play guitar. Maybe he could sing. Maybe he could sing. You know,
there's so many people in the podcast world that can jam. You got to invite Fabio because he's just going to make everything better. He made our band better.
I'm just saying you should make a band called the Podcast People or something like that. Where you, Chris, Fabio, all fucking get it and make an album.
We'll just call it the Podcast Village People. How's that?
Yeah, we'll just call it the Podcasters.
Oh, the podcasters.
The
What do you think, Bob?
podcaster.
Give it a name. Give it a name, Fabio.
What would
I'll
you
get
call
it.
band? You're
I'll
all
get it.
podcasters. It's like
Bob?
shit. You guys, I think you guys would make better music than Demi Lovato.
Well,
She
this
makes
is
some
what
good
I'll say,
music.
Mark. I'm really good at writing riffs. Fabio would agree that I wrote some pretty good riffs in my
Yes.
time.
Absolutely.
But Fabio is really fucking good at solos, and he has wrote some really good riffs on his own. So together, we're a pretty good powerhouse, and it's a shame we haven't hooked up more just to just jam, you know?
Just
I wrote some
jam it.
lyrics
Fucking-
Hmm.
Just
I know where you live.
Put that shit on Freeform community, man. Get that shit in the group, man.
Get that Raising Cain tape out there.
Dude, I've got it all. It's all on my phone. It's all digital. So I could actually post it. I could post
There you
a
go.
file of it.
Why don't you put it
You
on
can hear
like
the mood.
Bandcamp
Or send it
something?
I can send it over to Mark, and Mark can figure out a way to get it out there, because I sometimes this wave file bullshit, I don't know. But
Hey,
Mark,
you
have you
send
ever
it
heard
to me. I'll put it at the end of the podcast or tracks of the week. You know, here's
Mark, have you
Mooger.
ever heard it?
so
No.
Fabio, would you be opposed to
never
me
heard
putting
it?
up
No.
masochistic mind?
Jana said she was gonna send me some stuff, but she never has.
See,
Oh,
you gotta
well,
send
don't
it to
listen to
Mark.
her. Don't listen to her.
I love your wife. She's amazing.
Well, she's great, but she talks out of her ass when she's drunk. So
Oh,
remember
that don't we all talk out of our ass when we're drunk?
we're talking out of her ass right now, brother.
Right? Exactly, man.
Shane, you
So
gotta send it.
I think
I can't believe that
masochistic
Mark's
mind
never
was
heard
the-
Raising Cain. That's some
No,
garbage.
Jana said she was sending it to me, and it's been like months. I haven't
6 months.
got it.
Yeah.
She
I mean,
said,
I
I
have it
have it,
digitally.
Mark. I'll send it to you.
Mark, I'm gonna send you some files. I hope they transfer to you, but they're on my iTunes. You have iTunes?
I don't subscribe. I have Amazon Music. You can send it to me in Dropbox.
Well, I do. I can't get on my laptop, dude. I'll figure
When
it
you
out.
get your laptop, then
Figure it
send
out. Yep.
Yeah,
I'll figure it out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But man, I just want to say, Michael Sweet rules, Sunbomb, Tracy Guns, great.
Oh
freaking
yeah.
tune. Great.
Well, Tracy played all the music. All Michael Sweet did on that was come in and sing, and I thought he did a great job. on
Yeah.
that.
He
And
wrote
then
some lyrics though,
I
didn't
just
he?
got this live from the Line Lives for Artist Speedwagon. DVD and CD. It's available on Amazon.
What is it?
Yeah, it's fucking the 9 Lives. It's got a DVD show and audio from them, Gary and fucking Kevin doing 9 Lives, dude, 1979. Fucking, if you guys ever heard that album, we haven't reviewed it on Freeform yet. One of the greatest Artist Speedwagon albums of all time. It's fucking metal, hard rock as fuck.
Okay.
Yeah, Easy Money, fucking Only the Strong Survive. Fucking great fucking album. Have you ever heard that, Mooger? You ever heard 9
No.
Lives?
I don't think so.
9 Lives is a great Artist Speedwagon album, dude. Before they went to High Infidelity, where they blew up,
Right. High fidelity. They went pop.
they went fucking nuclear. But 9 Lives,
So was Cronin there by that point?
well, this is Cronin, 9 Lives. It's like Easy
Okay.
Money. You see them both right there, Gary and Cronin.
Okay, I
right
got
there.
you. I can see that.
Fucking amazing fucking album, man. It's like, what do they got in here? Shit, they got Like You Do, Heavy on Your Love, Only Strong Survive, Easy Money. Fucking great shit, man. They even did some songs from Tuna P. This was after You Could Tune a Piano, You Could Tune a Fish. The next album was,
Another great album.
Actually, I think maybe it was Ario and then 9 Lives. The
Okay.
Cow album. But fucking Gary, I miss fucking some Gary Richrath. That guy is so underrated of any fucking guitar players ever. That guy had so much feel, so much tone, so much feel. The same thing with Mick Ralphs of Bad Company. God dang. Nobody talks about these two guitar players. Do you guys talk about Gary and Mick Ralphs?
Not really. I mean, that was a little. I mean, it was honestly a little before my time. I listened to it obviously, and I love Bad Company, but Yeah, it's not somebody that I ever emulated as a guitar player.
What about you, Mooger? Mick Rouse and Gary Richrath, man.
Well, there's nothing not to like. I mean,
Right.
what's that?
I said right. Yeah, there's nothing not to like. It's just
Right,
at the time I grew up and when I started playing guitar, those guys just weren't on my radar.
right.
And
I'm
and
with
then
you,
when I
Fabio.
started listening to them more in depth later, I was kind of beyond that. It was not really what I was trying to do myself
No, I mean,
as a
but
guitar player.
the, you know, Fabio, you and I grew up in the same influence. You know, we were the shredders. You know, we wanted to, rip it up. And I didn't go back to the Lindsey Buckinghams,
Oh,
them
Well,
kind of
Lindsey
people.
Buckingham's a different story.
he's in my
Well,
top five.
no, I mean he's a hell of a guitar player. I'm just saying,
He's
the
amazing.
the the Leslie, the Mountain guy.
Leslie
Yeah,
West.
They're Leslie West. I mean, what a fucking group. I didn't
heavy.
I didn't get into these guys until much later because I was born in '74. All my '70s, there was nothing but Kiss and Ace Frehley. That was it. And
Dude,
then
live Get What You Play For me, is better than the Kiss Alive albums. I'm sorry. That's just
that's
me.
fine. I mean, we all have our opinions, but that when I was a kid growing up, that's kind of all I listened to.
Yeah, I
And I
get
knew
that.
other guitar players and I heard all their solos, but I didn't give a shit. If it wasn't Ace Frehley, I didn't want to listen to you. In the '80s, I started coming into Warren D. Martini, Carlos Cavazo, Randy Rhoads, um, all these other different guitar players, and they were so
Warren
good.
Martini.
Yeah, George Lynch, baby.
Great guitar players, but in my opinion,
No, no,
those
but
80s,
let me
those
finish.
80s guitar players.
Let me finish my fucking thought.
Okay, go for it.
George Lynch.
Okay. What I'm saying is that pound for pound, guitar players from the '70s were probably better than what we were coming into the '80s. Maybe not technically, but there's so much more feel and there's so much more groove. And there was I mean, come on, Santana in the early '70s. Come on. Neil Schon with Journey in the late '70s, early '80s. Great guitar playing. And then
Yes.
you got into the copycat shredder, and then everyone was just a shredder, and everyone was just playing the same shit. And not
Yeah,
that it
but that
wasn't
gets
good.
that gets that gets a little bit. I don't know. That gets a little bit down tuned. Also, people saying, "Oh, there's no feel in a million notes a minute." I mean, some of that is a little bit overdone too. In the opposite direction. Like I get that there's a value to originality and feel, but I think a lot of times people who listen to technicality and virtuosity don't appreciate that as much as it should be too. Um,
Because the the virtuous people, the ones that were shredding, Yngwie had a style. George Lynch has a style.
yes,
Eric Martin, or not Eric Martin, but Paul
Paul
Gilbert
Gilbert.
had yeah, he had a style. You could always pretty much pull out who was doing the solo. When you listen to a Dokken album, you knew that was George Lynch, man. So I'm not like crapping on that, but it just seemed to be like everyone's trying to overdo everybody else, everybody else,
You
everybody else.
because you mentioned Yngwie, and he tends to be a punching bag for a lot of blues players. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I don't care if there's no blues feel. That's not what he's doing. What he has done is taken the art of the masters of Bach, of Beethoven, of Mozart, and translated it to the guitar, which is an amazing feat, and he's
Hell
perfected
yeah,
it.
it is. It ain't the
And
piano, buddy. It ain't the
yeah,
piano.
and I can appreciate appreciating the Jimi Hendrix, who was innovative, who created a sound, who created a style of playing. But you should not discount the virtuosity of an Yngwie Malmsteen, or of a Steve Vai. Well, Vai is a different breed.
I think
but
Rick Emmett did it before Yngwie.
Oh no.
no.
Yngwie did a lot of classical
Yeah, but
pieces
that's
before
different.
Yngwie.
But that's more.
He did Peter and the Wolf in his guitar solo. Come on,
But
man.
that's more classical guitar. And Yngwie said, "We're going to take classical music. We're going to take pianists. We're going to take Chopin, and we're going to take
Yeah.
Ravel. We're going to take these guys, and we're going to put it on a guitar." And that's
And
something to be said.
I saw Yngwie live last summer. Holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
I was in awe. My jaw dropped. I was just like, I don't give a shit how much of an asshole this guy is. I'm having the best night of my life.
Hey, I love Yngwie. I think he's a great guitar player. I'm not shitting on him at all. But I'd rather hear fucking Rick Emmett or Gary Richrath over him. That's just me. It's like those guys had like you could hear Gary you could hear his soul. I don't hear Yngwie's soul in his guitar playing. I just hear him just playing.
There are a couple of records of his that
Maybe
I
you don't
definitely
hear a
heard so.
soul, but you hear a passion for excellence.
I only hear that
You
with
nailed
the
it.
Joe
No,
Lynn
hold on.
Turner album he did with him, you know.
Yeah,
And
Fabio nailed it. It might not be so much feel or soul, but it's a passion to play what he wants to play. And he
yes,
plays it with a passion. And he will like just fucking rip fucking box fifth or something into the middle of a solo, and it's like that's not easy to do.
Well,
that's a
I'm not
that's a
discounting
love.
Yngwie. I love
It's a
Yngwie. I
love
think
for the.
he's not in my top 10 guitar players. It's like I like the guys who could do the rhythm and the solos, like Eddie Van Halen, Gary Richrath, Rick
It just
Emmett. You know,
like
those are my
I
favorites.
and I and I love a good blues field player, but it does bug me. I don't know, just because all it there's a special talent for anybody who plays guitar and can get people to feel something, and that's important. But it does bother me when people say, "Oh, I'd rather hear, one note from BB King than 1,000 from Yngwie Malmsteen."
It's all the
It's
same,
it's
man. It's
two
all the
different
same,
things.
brother.
It's two
It's
different.
all the
I'd
same
rather
They
hear
both
Stevie
have
Ray
value.
Vaughan.
it's not
Yeah,
what you would rather hear
Yeah.
necessarily, because we can all pick what we would rather hear,
yeah.
and that's okay. That's
But they
okay.
both
But
have value.
don't discount Yngwie
Oh,
because
I'm
he's a
not
Bumblebee
discounting
player.
Yngwie at all. I like him,
No,
but
no,
I'm
no, no, no. Shut
yeah.
up. I'm trying to make a point.
Okay,
He
make a
was
point.
like, he's like, yeah, man. Some days I like to listen to Stevie Ray Vaughan because my God, can that guy play with soul and feel and everything else.
That
Some
guy's
days I
shredded
want to
too.
listen to Some days I want to listen to Yngwie because I just want my face shredded off. And he plays with fucking passion. And Fabio said it best, man. And thank you, because that has totally put a new spin on everything. It's like, well, I saw Yngwie up on stage playing with goddamn passion. How many years has he been in the game? And he's fucking playing with passion. So what do I want?
Maybe I need to see him live, but that last solo album was horrible for me. When he sang,
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
stop singing, dude.
I
Get
don't
a
mind his
singer.
vocals.
yeah.
I didn't like it at
He
all.
wasn't a bad singer. He
The,
wasn't
the
bad.
the point is there's value in different styles of guitar playing, and it just bugs me when people try to discount one or the other.
I never discount
Either
any
way.
guitar
Nope.
player. I never
No,
discount. I
I would
just tell you who
never.
I like better. That's about
And
it.
to retrace my steps when I said that everything kind of became generic and everyone's trying to be a shredder. But like I also kind of came back around. It's like, who George Lynch is. You know who Paul Gilbert is. You know who, unfortunately, C.C. DeVille might have been. You know who
Richie
Carlos
Kotzen.
Cavaza. And Randy Rhoads, goddamn for sure. And we all know Eddie Van Halen, right? He wrote some of the best goddamn songs ever, and he's great. So I think it's just like, in my opinion, for me, it's what mood am I in to listen to? Do I want to listen to some Stevie Ray Vaughan? Yeah, man, I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole for a day on that. Do I want to listen to some Yngwie? I'll go down another rabbit hole on that. So I don't discount any guitar playing whatsoever. As long as you're playing it with passion, you're playing it with feel. I'm on board with you, brother. And some solos, I think, oh, that was unforgettable. Going back to Flat Black, Jason Hook always puts a good guitar solo together. He does.
I think he
Bob,
has the Hook podcast, right?
I don't know, man.
I
I
think
don't
he
keep
does.
up on every.
Well,
I
I
have
just want to
7 million
promote somebody
podcasts to
there.
listen to.
He
I have
ain't
7
listening to
million
us.
other podcasts.
But
I'll check that out, though,
I'm
for
gonna
sure.
say I do like the guitar players that Phil. I do love Yngwie. He does have a lot of Phil. I love Joe Satriani. I love fucking Eddie Van Halen. I love Steve Ray Vaughan. I like Jimi Hendrix. I love fucking guitar players that BB King. Fucking even Big Head Todd and the Monsters. Todd can play some fucking really great fucking solos. If you guys
Hey,
listen.
speaking of Joe Satriani, I am excited a month from now to see
Oh,
Sammy Hagar, Best of All Worlds, with Joe Satriani and guitar.
dude,
I've
are
heard
you going to be
nothing but
down
good
Duke
things
Creek?
about that.
Are
What's
you going to
that?
be at Duke Creek?
Yes.
Dude, we're there.
Come over.
I'm seeing
Let's
him
get
August
together.
19th, man. I'm seeing that show at the Forum here in LA on August 19th, man.
All right, we're
We're
2
all
weeks
gonna see
later.
it.
I'm
We're like the
so fucking
30th or
excited. I
31st.
can't hold it, man.
I can't wait. I'm
The
excited.
reviews on that fucking
No, now
tour
that
is
we've
just
made this,
amazing so far.
we've made this a guitar episode. So Joe Satriani, what more can I say about that man? I just bought two of his first LPs or EP and LP on vinyl. That is a man
Nice.
that can
Not
make
of this
a
world and
guitar
flying in a blue surfing with the
Surfing.
not
alien.
of this earth, not of
Out of
this
this
earth.
earth and surfing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Fabio, talk about it, man. I mean, what a man can make a guitar sing a song and make you remember it. It's not just like it's not cacophony, even though they were amazing.
Yeah.
He takes these. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, it makes you like, holy shit! I remember that song, and it was just a guitar and a rhythm section.
Yeah.
Summer
And
song, man. Summer song. God damn.
Yes.
Summer
surfing
Love
with
song.
the
it.
alien, surfing with the
Yeah, Summer
alien.
Song is a great example.
Fuck
I
yeah.
mean,
Summer song is a great song.
I mean,
You're humming that fucking lead line. The whole fucking song is like,
yeah, the,
Yeah,
the guy doesn't try to show off, but he does
no.
inadvertently, and he just writes great music, great songs that, with or
that's
without words, you feel it. It doesn't matter. I love it. Yeah.
But
yeah,
like,
He's,
and
it's
he had
like
with
people are
you.
giving him a lot of hate because he's playing with Sammy and Chickenfoot. It's
I don't know
like
who's giving him hate, but
they didn't know there's a lot of hate for him
well, that's
playing.
stupid.
No, there's
There's a lot of
a
hate for
lot of
him
hate
because
around Sammy Hagar.
he put himself with Sammy, he aligned himself with Sammy, and that's fucking stupid as fuck
It is
to me.
stupid.
Yeah.
So the song that got me into Satriani was "Surfing with the Alien." They played it in Rock 104 here in Fort Wayne. And I'm like, holy shit, that's good. I went to the library, picked up the album. Remember that, Fabio? Did you ever do that?
Yeah, I did that too.
Yeah.
And then went home, and then there was this one beautiful song called "Always with Me, Always Beside
Oh
You."
Yes.
fuck. We need to review that album. That'd be fucking amazing to
I
review.
I think
Although
that'd be
my
very
my first
interesting.
introduction was actually Flying in a Blue Dream,
Oh, I found that at the
but then I went backwards.
Santa Monica Civic Center where Billy Squire played and all those people played. I saw him live on that Flying the Blue Dream tour. Fucking amazing. Fucking
I
great
was
album.
front row
He
center.
sounded really like ZZ Top singing, but that was fucking really good album.
No, hey, I was front row center for the Flying in a Blue Dream tour. Came to the embassy, and my buddy Mark Lewis had won off of Rock 104. He had run front row center. So here we were, man. I'm seeing Joe Satriani 5 feet away from me, just kill all these songs. And he never wanted to sing, but the record label was like, "Hey, can you put some vocals on a couple of tunes?" And he was like, "Don't really want to, but okay.
Yeah.
I'm a guitar player, not a singer."
I've said this before when I bought like Surfing with the Alien. My friend Kim Martin, who's a bass player, and she sings and she does songs. And In and Out Burger, I got that in here. I bought that tape I bought that tape Surfing with the Alien. I go, well, he ain't singing on here. I don't really like it. So I gave her the cassette, right?
Hmm.
And then a couple of years later, I go, fuck, that's a great album. What the fuck was I thinking giving that fucking cassette away?
Ah,
Fuck, that
And-
fucking Surfing with the Alien rules.
And got to get some bass love to Stu Ham on those
Stu,
albums.
I
too.
saw him on
Holy
that
shit.
tour playing bass with him on Flying in a Blue Dream. Fucking
and that's
amazing.
how Greg Bissonette was on drums.
Greg Bissonette was on that too, man.
Yeah. Stu Ham is amazing.
From one of my favorite albums of all time.
Stu Ham has a lot
Smile.
of solo albums. You guys should check out. Really good
Hey,
stuff, man.
Hey guys, I gotta wrap up. You guys can continue.
No, I'm gonna wrap up too, man. Let's get the fuck out of here, man.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Fabio. Mooger. Fucking rule. Let's get the fuck out of here, man. Later,
Love
guys.
you guys.
Later. Love you guys too.